This is the Lords of Hell mashup. We've got Pinhead versus Darkness from Legend, which I don't think any of us actually remember. We just know it's Tim Curry playing Satan. Who makes a better Lord of Hell?
Oh, wow. Well, if you think about it in those terms, it seems to me that Pinhead is probably going to be embodies the hell on earth idea better, because with Legend there's a lot of other fantastical stuff going on, whereas with the Hellraiser films, even the newer lousier ones, there is that threat of like kind of global destruction, whereas like with the Legend film it's very much an encapsulated story. It's very much about the human drama, about the pathway, that kind of adventurer's journey kind of a thing, where the Darkness, while he is incredible and the design of him and the look of him is still amazing, very few things come close to how cool it looks, as far as devils and things like that go. It is encapsulated. I don't know that I don't think he has this worldwide domination plan. I don't think it goes beyond.
He's the devil.
Well, yeah, but still, in the context of that story,
he has a domination plan.
I got to get rid of this fella so that I can get on to the rest of the things in my day, which is take over the rest of the world. Whereas with Hellraiser, the whole thing is that like the opening of the box, the kind of like unleashing these god awful creatures, and to me, that's like that becomes more universal. Whereas the devil is sort of like, yeah, it's more universal. Of course, the devil, beat sakes, but in that story, that's not really his interest. He's not really talking about taking over the world and hell on earth and blah, 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 blah. He's just really focused on being this very campy but very great, scene-stealing demon. And to me, I don't see it as a threat because I'm not the main character. It's just sort of, I don't see it as that way. Whereas with Hellraiser, it's much, much different.
No, you're sure you don't see it as a threat because you're used to seeing him as Dr. Frankenfurter?
you can't imagine him without that without the lingerie.
You really can't.
It's between Frankenfurter and then like bringing room service and Home Alone 2. I think it's between those two things. It's sort of
or Long John Silver from Muppet Treasure Island.
Yes, of course. Yes, absolutely.
Well, okay. I'll just kind of. All right. Well, going back to our whole discussion about Freddy, I have to take the same viewpoint about Pinhead and look at the body. If you're talking about the devil, you have to look at the devil's body of work, and you say, from opposing God, in the past, it'd be like, Pinhead, doing what he did, to as the films go on. It would be like the devil, opposing God in the past, and to now just kind of causing really bad traffic. Really bad traffic can be hell sometimes, but it's not that bad of a hell. And like I said, with Pinhead, he, over the course of the movies, how many has there been now?
Oh, gracious.
There's even been another actor playing Pinhead, right?
Yeah.
In this new, I didn't see that one.
There's two newer ones where they've got, I can't think of the guy.
Well, there's a new actor playing Pinhead with not as good makeup. And not as good effects.
It looks as though they kind of taped pieces of cardboard and then made the piece over that. So it's sort of like, no, head shape is better. Like square forehead thing is not, it's just not convincing anybody.
So
really.
yeah, so like with Darkness, it's like if you're a rock group and you have one great album, and then you all die in a fiery plane crash. That great album will exist forever. You're not going to go on and make a really bad album later on, or change genres or anything. There's this one iconic character. You see this character and you say the devil. And with Pinhead, he did great work in the past, but his albums past that past his original couple, because I really like Hellraiser 2 also.
Oh yeah.
But past those, he's kind of changed genres maybe a little bit.
Once you hit Revelations, you're like, okay, where are we going with this exactly? Yeah, so it starts to become muddled.
So I think sometimes like one really strong album can really.
I like that analogy. I think that's cool.
A bunch of other, like I said, because these last couple of them, it's like he went from a rock group to, a boy band or something.
It does feel that way. Yeah, it sort of was like, okay.
Pinhead and a boy band. So are we giving this one to Pinhead or the devil?
To the greater villain, or
the greater villain.
The greater villain, I'm saying Darkness, just on that,
yeah,
on his body of work.
Mark makes a good point. He does make a good point. It's.
And heaven forbid anybody vote against Tim Curry. So I'm just gonna throw it out there right
and
now.
by extension, in that film, Tom Cruise, which we all know is not a good idea to.
I'm not even gonna
with
do
him.
my. I'm not even gonna do my Pennywise impression.
Oh, you've got